with the purple stripes going down the sides of the uniform, gold numerals and lettering for the Dukes. Opening tap between Hannah and Wilson, deflected right into the lap of the Director of Men's Basketball Media Relations in Jamal Davis for the Phoenix. And James Madison will have first crack at it. Quick reminder, starting lineups presented by CPI Security. Protection you can count on. The conveniences you'll love. Visit them online at CPISecurity.com. This is Matt Lewis with it in between the circles. He'll flip it away to Wooden. Wooden's got it top of the key. Now sends it back to Lewis. Lewis moves it away to Banks. Banks back up top to Wooden. Right wing for the three and good. Julian Wooden, his 7th triple of the season, and James Madison finds their way to the early 3-point advantage.
Yeah, we heard Coach Schrage say that this team saw the ball go through the basket in the second half against William and Mary. Wooden not necessarily, but yeah, just his 7th 3 and 25 attempts on the year. No hesitation on that one from the right wing.
This is Sheffield at the top of the key. He'll move it away to Irvin. Banks has drawn the job on Irvin in the early going, and Zach bobbled it going to the end line and is the last to touch it. So the Gate City native coughs it up for the first turnover of the afternoon for the Phoenix. Elon averaging just under 10.5 per ball game in conference play. Front court come the Dukes. This is Parker with it off of the right side. He'll take it to the wing. Now down low. Wilson catching, had space on Hannah. And quickly James Madison out to the early 5-0 advantage.
Size advantage for Dwight Wilson in the post against Chuck Hannah. Chuck Hannah not a small guy, but Wilson, as you can see, or as our viewers can see on Elon Sports Vision, heck of a physical presence down there.
Sheffield loops it away to McIntosh in the corner left side. This is Woods for the three and good. Hunter Woods, who had 15 and 9 on Thursday night, gets the Phoenix on the board. 5-3 James Madison. 18:31 left to play in the opening half. This is Wooden, takes it down the lane, flips it to Wilson, now back up top to Banks. He'll move it away to Lewis. Lewis thought about the step back from the top of the key, instead moves it away to Wooden, and Wooden will draw the contact on Hunter Woods. And so the personal on Woods will be his first. It'll be team first. Anthony Franklin, your referee. Nick Keeter and Anthony Burrish, your umpires on this three-man crew for a Saturday afternoon. And the inbounds. Parker gets it away to Wilson. Now hands it off to Matt Lewis. McIntosh draws the job on Lewis. Lewis down the lane, leaves it for Wilson, but the offensive foul called against Matt Lewis. And guess who? Johnny on the spot. Chuck Hannah there to draw the charge. It'll be Lewis's first, and it'll be team first against the Dukes as you get a look at the replay off of Elon Sports Vision.
And Lewis showing some frustration on the way back down on the defensive end. Not sure if he's frustrated with himself for running into Chuck, who is clearly set, or not sure if he's frustrated with the call itself. But a great defensive play by Chuck, leaving his man in Wilson and taking the charge.
This is Sheffield to get the Phoenix a lead off of the left wing, and does just that. Woods and Sheffield back-to-back triples. And Elon, in the midst of a 6-0 run, grabs the lead at 6-5. This is Wooden. Wooden will take it, going to the baseline, and let's wait and see. Contact whistled on Zach Irvin. Anthony Franklin making the call. The Pride of Gate City whistled for his first and second team foul. Non-shooting, and so Matt Lewis the trigger. Baseline left side. Looking long inbounds. Banks will make the play right at the end, and the Elon logo emblazoned across the center court jump circle at Shar. Wooden handoff. This is Lewis for the three off of the left wing. No good. Sheffield with the rebound. Marcus will bring it on his own dribble across the timeline left side. Flip up top to Irvin. Zach will fire for the three. No good. Banged off the back of the iron and then simply falls away. And I believe they're going to say last touched by the Phoenix and Chuck Hannah. Indeed they will. 17:24 left to play. Phoenix in the midst of a 6-0 run, and so far Wooden and Wilson with the buckets, but Banks and Lewis a combined 0 for 1 in the early going. This is Banks to try to get on track. Cannot. Simply rims out. And it's McIntosh with the rebound. Hunter Mack brings it front court. He'll hit the accelerator going down the lane. No bucket, but Dwight Wilson will get charged for the penalty. First on Wilson, the junior, becomes the second team foul.
McIntosh realizing that potential advantage he can have off that high ball screen. Wilson coming out to hedge, and he just went right past him, drew the foul. That's going to be open all game.
Inbounds to Sheffield. Marcus can't get it to go. Hannah and Woods fight for the rebound. Chuck hits the deck, and let's wait and see. Anthony Burris with the whistle, and it'll be on to Dwight Wilson. And quickly, Lewis Rowe goes a couple of steps down his bench and grabs the 6'8 junior from the capital of the Commonwealth, Zach Jacobs, who's 8th in the league in blocks, into the lineup, and White Wilson will have a seat. McIntosh on the inbounds gets it to Irvin. Catch and shoot, no good, but McIntosh with the board. Hunter Mack takes it to the wing right side. Wanted to go back to Hannah, couldn't get it to him. Instead to Sheffield, to Irvin. Zach will take it in the lane, going down the lane, couldn't get the finger roll to go. And it's Jacobs with the rebound. He'll push it out to Parker. 6'5 Phoenix in front. Parker moves it to Wooden, now sends it to Jacobs. Jacobs catching on the left side. A little bit of a different defensive standpoint for Hannah working against Jacobs, but Zach Jacobs spinning in the lane, got it to go.
Jacobs not necessarily a post-up kind of guy, but certainly right there has a bit of a size advantage still on Chuck Hannah, able to make a strong move, keep that ball high, and put it up off the glass.
McIntosh thought about the three, instead down the lane right side. He'll move it to Irvin on the wing, right in front of a 6'7 standing head coach for the Dukes in Lewis Rowe. Hannah catching on the foul line right side to McIntosh, right back to Chuck, spitting in the lane of the bucket, good. And they'll get Darius Banks for the contact on the block. It'll be the three-point opportunity. First on Banks becomes the fourth on the Dukes. And to the stripe will go Chuck Hannah. Great job that time to draw the contact as Nick Heater and Lewis Rose spend a few moments together. And an explanation.
The pass from Hunter McIntosh, Taylor. You said it earlier, trying to run that play a few possessions ago. Tried to go to Hannah, which was open on a roll about a minute or so ago. That time was wide open. The Dukes hedging hard on that on-ball screen and leaving Hannah with a wide open lane to the basket. The help defense not in time.
Simon right in. Zach Irvin will have a seat. Don't look now. 3 field goals. They've all come on the helping hand of the Snellville native. Is at the other end. Parker firing for the three. Couldn't get it to go. Woods with the rebound. Boy, Hunter Woods had an opportunity. Thought about going 0 to 60 in about a second. But instead he'll move it away to McIntosh. McIntosh leaves it for Hannah. Hannah foul, circle top of the key. Moves it away to Woods. Woods will fire for the three off the back of the iron. No good. It's Michael Christmas with the rebound. He'll send it away to Lewis. Lewis got Sheffield moving defensively, and he'll simply lay one in off of the right wing. Lewis, his first field goal.
A nice move, faking going off the screen with that left-handed dribble, crossed back over to the right hand and threw it up off the glass before Woods could help from the weak side.
Woods sends it away to right. Right will move it to Hannah. Foul circle right side. Chuck wanting to go back door to Sheffield. Instead he'll leave it for right. Down the lane left side. Simon had it blocked away. Loose ball. Couldn't get a hand on it. Christmas reached in. And Anthony Franklin with the whistle. I believe they're going to get Simon right for the contact. And indeed, that is the case. It'll lead us to the media timeout. We'll clear everything up when we return to Shard. 9-9, 4+ minutes at ElonStudentHousing.com. Feel valued, respected, and provided with quality housing when you call one of the many properties home with ElonStudentHousing.com. They strive to make your leasing experience second to none with exceptional customer service and timely maintenance. ElonStudentHousing.com. Coming out of the timeout, we'll set lineups here in just a moment as it's Parker moving it away to Pinkard. Pinkard will hand off to Christmas. Michael Christmas sends it up top to Banks. Banks takes it to the foul circle left side. Now moves it away to Parker. Now back up top to Banks. Banks will fire over Woods for the three. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound pulled away by McIntosh, but Nick Heater with the whistle. And they're going to get the second personal on Simon Wright. And it'll be team fourth. Non-shooting foul. And so Anthony Pinkard will come over and handle the inbounds as Andy Pack gets to the scorer's table. He'll check in for Wright. 5+ minutes gone by, already 18 fouls between the Dukes and the Phoenix in the early going.
Obviously two real proponents of that mismatch, or two creators of those mismatches down low, and Simon Wright and Dwight Wilson hindered with two real early in this one.
This is Parker, got it to the foul line before Anthony Burris with the whistle, and I believe they're going to get Zach Jacobs on the contact, setting the moving screen. First personal on Jacobs is the 15th foul. Well, there's been nights the Phoenix and the opponent du jour have gotten to the bonus early. Maybe ready to set a record at this rate. Getting to the 1-and-1, not to mention the 2-shot opportunity. As Sheffield moves it away to Posaire. Federico right back to Sheffield. Marcus off of the dribble. He'll take it foul line, extended right side to Pack. Loops it downstairs. Posaire left block, catching the jump hook. Good. 14-15 left to play, and now all of a sudden, Anthony Franklin, a stoppage in play. And they will go to the monitor. I'm not sure what they're looking at because I turned away to mark the post-air jump hook in the scoring column.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if Chris Morrison, Dylan Field, and our talented Elon Sports Vision team can show us the replay and shed a little light as you see Anthony Franklin and Anthony Burrell in front of the monitor. And then the referee, Mr. Franklin, called Nick Heater into the conversation. There has been no discernible information from Stuart Barefoot, the veteran PA voice here at Shar. And they'll simply play on. 11-9, Phoenix in front, 14-15 left to play. Needless to say, a little bit of a stop and go here in the first 5+ minutes of work. Pinkard wanted to go downstairs to Banks, that up high he'll go to Parker. Now Parker will move it to Banks. Baseline left side, couldn't get it to go. Pack taps at it, ball pops free. Christmas on the recovery. He'll send it downstairs, and Banks baseline left side, the bucket good.
It's a broken play that time for JMU, and Banks that time just positioning himself on that left block despite that ball being loose. Trusted his teammates to regain that possession, and he was going to be open on that low block. He was. A nice pass to find him.
Posair backdoor, Pack can't convert. Rebound pulled away by Jacobs. Jacobs will move it away to Banks, sends it away to Parker. Just in case you haven't heard us mention his name, Matt Lewis at the scores table to check in. Next dead ball. Jumper from Banks, no good, and Pack will run it down. Moves it away to McIntosh. Posair, Woods, and Sheffield for the Phoenix of head coach Mike Schrage. McIntosh wheels out, finds Pack. Pack sends it downstairs to Posair. Catching off of the right block. Federico working inside against Jacobs, and he'll get called for the offensive foul. Federico kept leaning on Jacobs and leaning on Jacobs. And finally, Zach Jacobs takes the tumble into the lane, and that'll draw the whistle.
Yeah, nice defensive play by Jacobs, but on the offensive end, Taylor, it looked like Deshaun Parker off the pick and roll rolled his ankle, stepping on a defender's foot. He's over on the bench right now, and he was in a lot of pain on that last defensive possession. Luckily, JMU did not have a disadvantage because of that injury.
Jadis Harvey in the ball game, first time, freshman from out of the Bull City nearby in Southern Durham High School. This is Lewis. He'll move it away to Pinkard. Now works it away to Harvey. Now right back to Lewis. Now in the corner is Christmas for the three. Could not get it to go. Pinkard trying to jump over the top of Seth Fuller. And Nick Heater with the whistle is going to get Seth Fuller for the contact. First on Fuller becomes the 6th on the Phoenix. And you get a look at the replay, and we'll let the pictures speak for themselves on a Saturday afternoon. As Harvey catching the inbounds, moves it right back to Lewis. Wing left side, Lewis in the lane, got by Pack, couldn't get it to go. They'll slap at it. Pack and Posair both on the slap. Federico hits the deck trying to recover it. Then Pack after it goes to the deck. He'll finally move it away to Sheffield. Good work by the Greensboro Summerfield native to retrieve. This is Sheffield in between the circles. Pack, Chris Wooten in the ball game for the first time on the afternoon. Back up top, it'll go to Pack, now to Posair. Federico, the handoff given to Wooten. Wooten trying to work his way out of the double team, sends it to Pack. Pack down low to Posair. Right side, Federico working on Jacobs. Comes to a standstill, tried to flip it away to Fuller, and simply throws it away right into the hands of Pinkard. Pinkard moves it to Lewis. Lewis right corner. Tied up at 11:55 on a moving clock left in the opening half. This is Harvey to Lewis. Downstairs to Jacobs. Catching over the top of Posair. Jacobs will take it in the lane, trying to spin Federico off the front of the iron. Could not get it to go, and the offensive foul whistled by Anthony Burris. I believe it's Michael Christmas. No, it is not. It is 2 and not 23. First on Pinkard. Becomes the 6th on the Dukes. We'll get you the information when we continue. Timeout on the floor. Morris and our entire Elon Sports Vision crew. I'm Taylor Durham. Glad to be with you on a Saturday afternoon. Quick reminder, Modern Toyota in Winston, a place where confidence comes standard. Visit Jim Butler, his staff. Find out how you can experience the modern difference. Visit them online, buying a symbol at moderntoyota.com. And the modern difference. 5 for 14 are the Dukes, 4 of 11 are the Phoenix. Elon's turned it over 3 times. Hunter McIntosh has assisted on 3 of the 4 Phoenix field goals.
Nobody really able to get into any sort of rhythm here, and a lot of lineup changes may have something to do with that. A turnover by Elon again.
Yep, this is Lewis streaking to the other end. Sheffield blocks it away, but Nick Heater will get the graduate student from out of Alpharetta on the personal on Matt Lewis. For Sheff, that'll be his first. It is team 7th. And 8+ minutes gone by, and James Madison has hit the 1-and-1. Phoenix are close behind. Next Duke personal puts them in the bonus free throw opportunity as Matt Lewis knocks home the free throw. 69.4% free throw shooter on the season for Lou Rose Ball Club. Mentioned it earlier, 6th best in scoring and almost 18 per night. And he's got 4 in the early going. 13-11, James Madison back in front by 2. Dukes have led by as many as 5. Phoenix have led by as many as 2s. Harvey and Fuller get tangled up in the backcourt. And Javis Harvey whistled for his first. It'll be team 7th. And there you go. There's the bonus opportunity for the Phoenix as you get a look at the replay from our friends at Elon Sports Vision. Seth Fuller to the stripe as Woods and Hannah back in the ball game. And Seth Fuller on the season, his first opportunity to the stripe. And knocks it home. Full rim insurance that time for the Dublin 4th-year junior. And he'll have another one coming.
Saw a zone look a few defensive possessions ago for JMU, and that time some backcourt pressure. This aggressive defense may not play into their favor with both teams in the bonus right now, Taylor. Just some backcourt defense from Harvey, some nice backcourt defense from Harvey on Seth Fuller, but ended up being called for the foul. And as a result, Elon gets 2 points out of it. Not sure if that defensive strategy, not sure if Lewis Rowe will stay with that defensive strategy as we close out this half.
Well, if you heard Coach Strage join us during the audio portion of the countdown, this is a James Madison defense that's not got a lot of rhyme or reason to some of their sets. They'll just simply roll it out as Quinn Ritchie's in the ball game for the first time on the afternoon. The freshman from out of Johns Creek, Georgia. This is Harvey with it in the lane, and an offensive foul whistled against Harvey. Chuck Hanna draws his 2nd block already of the afternoon on what is the 8th team foul. And quickly that'll get Darius Banks back to the scorer's table. He'll get in, and Harvey will have a save. It is Lewis, Banks, Wooden, Ritchie, and Jacobs. Harvey becomes the 2nd Duke to draw 2 in the half, joining Dwight Wilson, who went to the James Madison bench early in this one. 13 all. McIntosh, Hannah, Woods, Wooten, and Irvin for the Phoenix. This is Zach with it, catching off of the left wing to Woods. Woods holding high. He'll move it away to Wooten. Wooten off of the right wing. Couldn't get it to go. Lewis with the rebound. Chuck stuck a hand in. Lewis, though, on the recovery. He'll bring it front court off of the left-hand dribble in between the circles. Moves it over to Banks. Banks, left wing, flips it downstairs to Jacobs. Jacobs now up top to Banks, now back downstairs to Jacobs. Jacobs working in on Zach Irvin. Jump hook off the front of the iron, no good, but Nick Keeter with the whistle, and they'll get Zach Irvin for the personal. 2nd on Irvin becomes the 8th on the Phoenix, and that'll send Zach Jacobs to the stripe.
Jacobs again just using that size to his advantage, getting right into the body of Irvin, and Irvin with maybe a bit of an aggressive contest on that shot. Maybe got under Jacobs. That was perhaps the call, but didn't look like much contact down low, and definitely not much up top.
Jacobs knocks down the first. He'll have a 2nd one coming. 71.4% on the year. Young man who was the Richmond Dispatch Player of the Year his senior season, following 21-9. Zach Irvin will go to the bench. Irvin becomes the 2nd Phoenix participant to be saddled with 2 in the opening half. And Jacobs knocks down the free throw. He's got 4. 15-13. James Madison back in front. Backcourt pressure shown. Wooten will send it away to Woods. Hunter Woods down the lane at the high rate of speed. He'll move it away to Sheffield. Marcus had it come halfway down, pop out. Sends it away to Lewis. Lewis off of the rebound, brings it front court, takes it to the right side of the foul circle, now leaves it for Wooden. Spinning in, he'll send it to Jacobs. Now back to Wooden, ball slapped away and recovered by Ritchie. Fresh new shot clock at 20 on the reset. Lewis down the lane, Jacobs on the catch, cannot finish, and Wooten comes away with the rebound. Boy, Wooden stuck a hand in there trying to keep it alive, but Chris Wooten snags it. He'll send it away to McIntosh. McIntosh to Wooten, right wing, and Chris Wooten will get whistled for the travel. Anthony Franklin with the whistle. Fifth turnover of the afternoon on the Phoenix. Elon, who comes in averaging just over 10.5 a ball game in league play. James Madison forcing just under 14 a contest in league play at 13.9. 9:38 left to play. Dukes are just one of their last 9. Neither ball club has scored a field goal in 4+ minutes of work. James Madison working on the 4:16 stretch. Ritchie moves it away to Wooden. Wooden catching on the right side. He'll send it up top to Banks. Banks on the right-hand dribble. Down the lane. The floater could not get it to go, and it's Woods with the rebound over the top of Jacobs. Front court comes the Pasadena, California native off of the left-hand dribble. Takes it in between the circles. Sends it away to Sheffield. Sheffield for the 3. No good. Hannah battling for the rebound. And Banks out of there with it. 9 minutes left to play in the opening half. 15-13. James Madison in front by 2. This is Lewis for the 3. No good. Wooten with the rebound. He'll send it away to Woods. Boy, both ball clubs just stone cold right now. 9 of 32 between them. Hannah to Woods. Hunter, the shot fake. He'll take it in the lane. Stop at the free throw line. Could not get it to go. Chuck will hit the deck. James Madison reaches in to tie him up, and the alternating arrow will stay the way of the Phoenix.
Well, Elon continues to move the ball well. Even that on that possession, Woods with a nice pass to Sheffield. And then what got back to Woods on that wing, who had a pump fake dribble inside the arc. Jumper from about 15 feet was just short, but Chuck Hanna there to extend that possession. The offensive rebound battle early favors JMU, but this second chance opportunity for Elon, a chance to break this cold streak.
McIntosh with it off of the baseline right side. He'll send it away to Hanna. Now right back to Hunter Mack. Mack trying to dribble out of the double team. He'll move it away to Wooten. Wooten to Sheffield. Marcus stops, pop, baseline left side and good. Snaps what was a almost 3-minute scoring drought. And the Phoenix knock it home for the first time in the last 8 opportunities from the floor. Chef's got 5 in the opening half. Knotted up at 15. 8-12 left to play at the other end. Woods slaps it away. Wooten on the recovery. Here come the Phoenix running the break. Sheffield stop, pop, foul line good off of the right side.
Job by the Phoenix running that break, and Sheffield filling that lane well, going right to the elbow, catching the ball, seeing what was in front of him. The defender was down in the paint. Instead of driving and risking an offensive foul, took the jumper.
This is Banks missing wildly on the layup opportunity. James Madison's over their last 9 from the floor. McIntosh, baseline, right side. He'll kick in the corner left to Wooten. Wooten takes it in the lane. Now moves it back to McIntosh for the 3 and good. And boy, that is a welcome sight as Hunter McIntosh, just 1 for his last 15 from deep, knocks home the 3. Phoenix in the midst of a Elon backcourt. Marcus Sheffield got it started on the 7-0 run, but Hunter McIntosh with the 3, forcing the timeout. Boy, that is a welcome sign as Sheffield and McIntosh with 10 of the Phoenix 20 in the opening half, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. McIntosh just the beneficiary of that good ball movement down the lane, and Elon with another offensive possession, another stop on the defensive end.
Yep, Banks couldn't get it to go. The tumbling opportunity down the lane. This is Sheffield with it at the top. McIntosh moves it away to Woods. Hunter Woods driving baseline left side. Couldn't get it to go off the window. But the whistle on the back end of the play, and let's see what Anthony Franklin's got for us, and I believe it will be Julian Wooden, and indeed that is the case. First on Wooden becomes the 9th on the Dukes. And to the stripe will go Hunter Woods. 2-shot opportunity for the freshman. 71% on the season. And knocks it home. Woods has got 4. Not only to mention Woods with 4, but already with 3 rebounds after a 15-9 effort on Thursday night.
With this bigger front court that JMU consistently is showing, Taylor, Woods has that ability to take those defenders off the dribble, make that first defender go by, and be able to finish at the rim. He attempted to do that there, drew the foul, and converts both.
12 out of his last 16 from the stripe. Moves the Phoenix to their largest lead of the early going at 7, 22-15. As checking in is Zion Dobbs, the freshman from out of West Virginia. This is Parker with it. Foul circle, top of the key. He'll move it downstairs to Zach Jacobs, and the reverse lay-in good. Zach Jacobs getting extended minutes in the opening half due to the foul trouble on the White Wilson. And he'll move the Phoenix lead back to 5, 22-17. This is Woods with it, right wing up top. McIntosh for the 3. Off the front of the iron and then banged it off the window and got it to hang and drop off the front of the rim.
Sean Parker real aggressive on the ball there and assumed that McIntosh was going to go for that cut towards the basket. Instead, he just decided to flare out to that right wing, or to the real center of, or top of the key rather, opened up for 3.
Lewis down the lane working on McIntosh. Could not get the little finger roll flip to go, and it's Woods with the rebound. Matt Lewis 1 for 5 in the early going, including 0 for 2 from behind the arc. Woods backdoor Wooten on the catch and the finish. Chris Wooten, his first field goal of the afternoon. 27-17, Elon's largest lead at 10. Parker sends it downstairs to Jacobs. Jacobs catching on the block right side. He'll turn in against Hannah. Jump hook couldn't go. Sheffield with the rebound. 5:35 left to play in the opening half. Marcus brings it front court. He'll send it away to Hannah. Hannah catching, stopped. He'll send it around the horn. Sheffield back with it off of the wing left side. Driving in, bucket good in the lane. Marcus Sheffield has got 9 in the opening half. 29-17. Phoenix in front by 12 to Sean Parker. Down the lane, got through the Phoenix double team and knocks home the bucket.
Hope Chef's okay. He looked like he went down hard there. Maybe he gotten tripped up trying to get through that screen, it looked like. Looks like he's fine on the near sideline.
This is Wooten with it off of the right wing. Sends it up top to Woods. Now pushes away to Hannah. Hannah catching, foul circle right side. Moves it back over to Woods. Woods driving, baseline, right side of the bucket, good. Got right by Michael Christmas. And Zion Dobbs a little bit late getting there. Hunter Woods has got 7. 31-19 at the other end. Deshaun Parker down the lane, and they'll draw the block on Chris Wooten. First on the sophomore from out of Kinston, and it'll be the 9th team foul, and to the stripe will head Deshaun Parker. Parker on the season, 49.3% from the stripe. This is a Duke ball club that's 62.2% in league play. Early on this afternoon, 4 for 4 though. And make them 5 for 5. Parker's got 3. Had 14 against William and Mary on Thursday night. 6 for 8 from the stripe. 5th freshman in the history of James Madison basketball to eclipse the 100 assist mark as he knocks home the free throw. Had a career high 8 last year in the final Thursday night business meeting as the Phoenix visited the Convo in the Shenandoah to get the victory. This is McIntosh working against Parker, and they'll get to Sean Parker for the reach-in personal. First on Parker becomes the 10th on the Dukes, and to the stripe will go Hunter McIntosh for the 2-shot opportunity.
On the 4 prior offensive possessions, Taylor, the sense of urgency and that energy was really there for the Phoenix. Some crisp passes, discipline with the ball, and right there, Hunter McIntosh again being smart with the dribble, keeping that ball low, and getting Deshaun Parker reaching again. Free throw attempts.
And McIntosh knocks home the free throw. Hunter Mack's got 7. I think one of the things that jumps out, though, James Madison, who came in 40.6% in league play, just 7 of 24. Coach Schrage talked in our countdown visit about wanting to move forward defensively. Yeah. And McIntosh knocks the second one down. Certainly a good sign after Towson eclipsed the 50% marker in the second half on Thursday night on their way to the 11-point win. This is Lewis. He'll send it away to Banks right in front of our broadcast location. Darius Banks right back to Matt Lewis. Lewis peers over his shoulder and gets the offensive play call from the former Bowling Green assistant. Lewis takes it to the right side of the foul line. He'll move it away to Jacobs, now to Pinkert, now back to Lewis. He'll fire for the three. Could not get it to go, and Hannah with a rebound. Shot clock winding down as Sheffield brings it across the timeline. Marcus will hit the accelerator down the lane left side using the window and got it to go. Sheffield's got 11. Mentioned it during the video stream pregame show. 10 straight ball games in double figures, but the last 7 have been without a 20-point performance. Could be well on his way to that this afternoon as Banks has it swatted away, and then on the recovery, I believe, able to draw the personal on Chuck Hanna. It'll lead us to the media timeout, and Banks will shoot free throws when we roll on from Shard. Elon in front, 35-21. 3:32 left to play in the opening half with Brian Morris. I'm Taylor Durham. Phoenix have hit on their last 8 from the floor, and it's one of the reasons that they've taken what was a 15-13 deficit and turned it into what is, by my calculations, a 22-6 run. As Darius Banks to the stripe, and Elon in front by 14. Banks knocks down the free throw. He'll have another one coming.
Some great energy being shown on both ends of the floor. We've seen this this season, Taylor, particularly in this building, where both teams go cold, and then the one that has that urgency is able to come away with a big lead or go on a run. That's exactly what Elon has done in this one, something that they may have needed to work on coming into this homestand. They've achieved it so far.
Phoenix 12 of 23 from the floor. They'll come out of the media timeout. Sheffield, Wooten, McIntosh, Woods, and Hannah for head coach Mike Schrage. Woods moves it away to Sheffield. Sheffield catching on the wing left side. In the corner, Wooten for the three. Could not get it to go. Matt Lewis with the rebound. Lewis will quickly bring it across the timeline. Wanted to give it away to Christmas. Christmas zigged. Lewis thought he was going to zag and simply throws it into the middle of the Phoenix bench. And quickly checking into the ball game, Julian Wooden, and Michael Christmas will have a seat. As the fourth-year head coach, 10th head coach in school history. We mentioned earlier the 95 James Madison grad simply paces up and down the Duke sideline. McIntosh moves it away to Sheffield. Sheffield, bullet pass down low. Hannah catching, block right side. Chuck can't get the jump hook to fall. And it's Wooden with the rebound. He'll outlet away to Lewis. Front court come the Phoenix, or the Dukes rather, on the hop. Lewis moves it away to Wooden. Gives it to Pinkert, now sends it away to Banks. Banks off the high dribble, almost had it slapped away by Wooden. They'll send it to Lewis. Lewis up top to Banks. Banks shot fake, then trying to lean in on Wooden. He'll take it down the lane, could not get it to go. And Sheffield with the rebound. Boy, Marcus, a good job that time to simply wait for traffic to clear. He'll move it to McIntosh in the corner. Chris Wooten had it blocked away. Banks got the hand on it over the end line. It'll be Elon basketball.
Tried to find Wooten in that left corner twice now on these last 3 possessions. And Wooten, or this zone defensive look being shown by JMU, simply not tight on him in that corner. Sheffield, though, opens up.
Marcus for the bucket and good. Sheffield has got 13 on the afternoon. 38-23. Phoenix move it back to 15, matching their largest lead of the afternoon. This is Wooden. He'll send it away to Banks. Banks with it off of the left wing. Up top to Matt Lewis. Lewis sends it away to Pinkert. Pinkert catching off of the right wing. Now back up top. It'll go to Lewis. Lewis will fire for the three off the back of the iron. No good. Hunter Woods with the rebound. Went a couple of rungs up on the ladder to bring that in. Woods with it on the right side. Skipping the corner. Left side up top. Sheffield starting to feel it. And Marcus simply bangs one off the iron left side. Banks with a rebound. 1:25 left to play in the opening half. Banks trying to give it away to Wooden. And Woods simply reaches in, slaps it away, and I believe they're going to get the personal on the Dukes in frustration. Let's wait and see. A couple of different parties there. As Anthony Franklin, Anthony Burris, and Nick Keeter will huddle up, and they'll go to the other end. And the personal is going to get whistled on Julian Wood, and it'll be his second. And now all of a sudden, Anthony Franklin and Anthony Burris to the monitor for the second time in the opening half. Gives us an opportunity to let you know Hub International's goal is simple. Earn your confidence when you don't. In a chilly 1 for 10 from behind the arc. Phoenix 13 for 28 and 5 for 12. And Hunter Woods to the strike. Woods on the afternoon has got 7. And the offer, no good.
First miss of the night for both teams. I think what they were reviewing, Taylor, was whether that was maybe a clear path foul. I think that's the only thing that I could think of in that situation. Woods jumping that pass and getting it seemingly ahead of the defense before getting that contact and falling to the floor. Obviously ruled just a common foul, and because of this bonus, 2 free throws.
Woods, last 2 ball games, 15 and 9, and knocks down the second. 39-23, Phoenix in front. Largest lead of the afternoon at 16. Backcourt pressure is shown by Elon for the first time on the afternoon. Matt Lewis will break it. Certainly a token pressure shown by the Phoenix, or at least presence-wise. This is Banks. Banks trying to go downstairs, can't get it to Jacobs, and set up top to Lewis. Lewis down the lane, and they'll get the blocking foul on McIntosh. Anthony Burris with the whistle. That'll be the first on Hunter Mack. It is the 10th on the Phoenix, and you'll get a look at the replay from our friends at Elon Sports Vision. And as we've said a couple of times on the afternoon, sometimes pictures and videos and photos tell a story that others can't.
Well, Lewis, this first half, not the performance he would have liked. 1 of 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from behind the three-point arc. Makes his 3rd free throw of the night right there, but he's trying to force a lot, especially on these last few possessions. Some deep threes with a hand in his face, and that time rather uncontrolled drive. Got bailed out by the foul call, but goes 1 for 2.
Yep, missed the second one. Well, this is the James Madison team that got in the early hole Thursday night in Williamsburg. Lewis and Banks shot them back out of it in the second half. Sheffield baseline, left side, up top. This is Wooten for the 3. No good. Chuck Hanna, though, slapped it away, and then Chuck tried to go into the James Madison bench to make the save. Could not make it in time, and it'll be JMU basketball. 39-24. Phoenix in front by 15. Lewis brings it across the timeline. Takes it to the wing right side. Off of his own dribble, had it slapped away by Woods, recovered by McIntosh. Pretty look going back to Woods, can't finish. Sheffield can't finish on the offensive stick back. And Pinker to the other end. Shot clock off, game clock winding to 21. 39-24. Well, Phoenix wanted to take a step forward defensively. I would tell you that they've done that in the opening 20 minutes of work. Up 15. This will be Wooden for the 3, no good, and the rebound pulled away by Sheffield. Game clock winding down, and Marcus will simply release it to the other end. Zaxby's of Burlington. Elon leads at the break for the 11th time. They're 3-7. James Madison trails at the break for the 9th time. They're 1-7, including 0-5 in league play. Banks to Parker. Works it away to Lewis. Starting 5s back on the floor for both ball clubs, including Dwight Wilson, who quickly went to the James Madison bench with 2 personals in the first 2+ minutes of work in the opening half. This is Parker down the lane left side. He'll flip it up top to Lewis. Shot clock at 3. Lewis driving on Zach Irvin and got the finger roll to go. Matt Lewis has got 7 on the afternoon. 39-26. Elon in front by 13.
Lewis just continues to look for any sort of opening and gets it right there with the right-handed dribble around Zach Irvin. Was forcing a lot of deep threes, contested jump shots late in that first half. A good start to the second, though.
Hanna works it against Irvin to the double team. Now to McIntosh to Sheffield. Marcus will take it. Elbow left side. Couldn't get it to go, but Hunter Woods, the tap follow, and then simply had it circle the cylinder a couple of times for good measure before it drops in. His 3rd field goal on the afternoon. This is Lewis pushing away to Wooden. Wooden the handoff given to Banks. Now right back to Wooden, left corner. Wooden will take it to the foul line. Now up top, Banks for the three and good. Well, Matt Lewis and Darius Banks shot the Dukes back into it Thursday night at Kaplan in Williamsburg. And so far, seems set on trying to do the same thing this afternoon at Shar. Hannah flips it away to Woods. Woods takes it down the lane left side. He'll stop. Spin jumper. Could not get it to go. And Wilson with the rebound. He'll move it away to Banks. To Lewis quickly down the floor. Lewis in the lane. Could not get it to go. Urban had a tap at it. Woods on the recovery. He'll move it away to Sheffield. 18:07 left to play as Urban fires off of the left wing. Simply hits the wedge on the left side and bounces away. Lewis with the rebound. Brings it front court. He'll flip to Parker. Now right back to Lewis. Lewis working out of the double team. Moves it up top to Parker. Parker sends it to Banks. Left wing for the three. No good. Rebound, though, gathered by Wooden. Wooden block right side up top. Boy, Lewis thought about uncorking from 26 right in front of head coach Lou Rose. Said he'll move it away to Banks. Out of Parker. Now the flip downstairs. This is Wilson matched up against Sheffield. Jump hook good. Forward to White Wilson. And quickly, head coach Mike Schrage has asked for the 30-second timeout that becomes the full timeout here in the opening or here in the second half. Courtesy of a 7-2 run. And boy, Brian, it's been the trio that we talked about in the countdown. Banks with the three, Lewis and Wilson with the 2-point field goals that have got the Dukes back within striking distance here early going.
Obviously, you want to continue to prevent the production from Dwight Wilson. You said it, under 3 minutes in the first half, and immediately they've gone to him twice here in the second half, one of which he does convert a field goal just up to 4 points, has made both of his shots, only one rebound, but obviously that not necessarily representative of what he can do on the floor. You got to continue to limit him in the final 17 minutes.
This is Woods in between the circles. Hunter will flip to Sheffield. Sheffield catching on the left side to the baseline. All pretty look going down the lane, and Chuck Hanna with the catch and finish. Chuck's got 5 on the afternoon. 43-31. Elon leads by 12. Matt Lewis trying to work his way out of the double team, and Nick Heater with the whistle. They'll get Chuck Hanna for the contact. Just the first on Hanna, first on the Phoenix here in the second half. And Julian Wooden will... Well, thought for a moment Wooden was going to handle the inbounds, but instead it'll be Deshaun Parker. And Parker flips it into Wilson, now to Wooden. Wooden catching at the top of the key, left-hand side. Off of the dribble, he'll move it away to Parker. Parker in between the circles. Right back, it'll go to Wooden. Now the handoff to Lewis. He'll fire for the three, and good. Matt Lewis's first triple of the afternoon, his 45th on the season. And just like that, he's in double figures for a 17th time on the year. This is Sheffield. Sheffield to Hanna. Now right back to Marcus. Sheffield in the lane. The hanger could not get it to go, but they'll get contact on Lewis per the whistle from referee Anthony Franklin. Second on Lewis becomes the first on the Dukes in the half. And to the stripe will go the Alpharetta native.
Job by the Phoenix working the ball inside to start this half. First it was the Chuck Hanna positioning in the center of the paint. A nice move with the ball to keep it away from the defense before laying it in. And this time Marcus Sheffield just taking Matt Lewis off the dribble, drawing the foul with that right-handed floater. Again, you mentioned Lewis's first three of the night, Taylor. You cannot let him get going either out there from the perimeter. Has that ability to make those tough shots. Did so that last time down.
8th best free throw shooter in the league. Knocks them both down. Right on cue. Thank you very much, Marcus. 45-34. The Phoenix back in front by 11. Backcourt pressure shown as Parker will simply break it across the timeline right side. Parker moves it to Lewis. Now right back to Parker. Parker hits the accelerator going baseline right side. And I believe they're going to get Sheffield with the contact. Anthony Burris with the whistle. And indeed that is the case. Marcus whistled for his second. It'll be team second. Non-shooting foul as you get a look at the replay. Parker just turning the corner on Sheffield. Necessitates the whistle from Nick Heater. Wooden, hand off to Parker. Parker down the lane left side. Could not get the bucket, but the whistle by Anthony Franklin. And this will be Chuck Hanna, much to the dismay of the 43-year-old native from Atlanta. And first-year head coach Mike Schrage, and Deshaun Parker to the stripe for the two-shot opportunity.
Well, Chuck did leave his feet on the contest, but did go straight up, didn't impede on any of Parker's space as an offensive player. And Parker misses the first of two. A nice defensive play by Chuck, but as a result of the foul, Federico Poser now checks in.
Yep, Hanna whistled for what will be his third personal on the afternoon. And Deshaun Parker to the stripe, missing the first one. He'll have another one coming and knocks that one down. Mentioned earlier, just 49.3% on the season. 3 for 4, though, on the afternoon. Backcourt pressure shown. Woods trying to work his way out of the double team, and Banks and Parker slap it into the courtside LED and will remain Elon basketball. Sideline throw in for Woods. Got to find somebody. Tried to get it to Sheffield. Had it knocked away. Loose ball recovered deep in the Elon corner by Wilson. He'll move it away to Lewis, to Banks, to Parker. Now back to Banks. Banks with it off of the left wing, working against McIntosh. Up top, this will be Lewis. Lewis taking it to the baseline. Now sends it up top to Wooden. Now to Banks. Banks off of the right-hand dribble. Down the lane. Couldn't get it to go. Wilson, though, with the rebound. Simply dispatched Poser into the lane. This is Parker trying to flip it over to Wooden. Ball knocked away. Sheffield on the recovery. They'll bring it to the other end. Woods off of the stop, moves it away to Wooten. Now to McIntosh, now to Sheffield. Sheffield with it off of the left wing, and now all of a sudden, timeout has been asked for by Anthony Franklin as one of our game day operations folks had found their way in front of the Phoenix bench to wipe up a little bit of moisture from the earlier offensive scrum. It'll lead us to the media timeout game day, and that's our good friend Dr. Lee Deal and the good folks over at Duke Sports Medicine. 919-471-9622. Or visit the website, dealsportsmedicine.com, and go Phoenix. 45-35, Elon in front by 10, led by as many as 15 at the break. And Chris Wooten to trigger following the stoppage in play. For some game day operations, folks, simply led us to the media timeout. This is Wright. Simon in the lineup for the first time in the half. Sheffield moves it to Wright. Wright catching. And I believe they're going to say stepped on the sideline near the Phoenix bench, and indeed they are. The move that has become commonplace here over the first 2 months of this basketball season. 7th turnover on the afternoon for the Phoenix. This is Jacobs. He'll flip away to Parker. Parker to Lewis. Lewis with it off of the right wing. Drives it down to the baseline. Now up top to Jacob. Now gives it right back to Lewis. Lewis moves it away to Parker. Up top for the three off the front of the iron. No good. Jacobs and Wright fight for it. And Anthony Burris with the whistle, and let's wait and see. Are they going to get the Minneapolis junior with his third? And indeed they are. Simon Wright whistled for his third and team fourth. And with 15:02 left to play in the half, or in the ball game rather, James Madison will inbound it. This is Lewis, corner right side, could not get it to go. And they're going to get the offensive foul on Matt Lewis, kicking out the leg on the jumper in the corner. For Lewis, that'll be his third. It'll be team second. And the offensive foul gives it back to the Phoenix.
I believe that's the first time we've seen that call made this season, Taylor, but certainly a point of emphasis in college basketball. You cannot kick that leg out, and there definitely was that right leg tripping Wooten up as he contested that shot. The contact created by the offensive player, by definition, offensive foul.
McIntosh off of the left-hand dribble. He'll bring it across the timeline. Hunter Mack hands it off to Woods. Now moves it away to Sheffield. Sheffield to the foul circle. Now to McIntosh on the right wing. Up top to Sheffield. Sheffield takes it to the foul circle and the jumper good. Seventh field goal of the afternoon. 47-35. Phoenix in front by 12. Jacobs at the top of the key, moves it away to Parker. Now right back to Jacobs on the give and go. Could not get it to go. Woods with the rebound. He'll send it away to McIntosh. Hunter Mack front court to Wooten. Catch in rhythm for the three off the left wing. No good. And it's Jacobs with the rebound. Jacobs moves it away to Parker. Parker off of the high dribble. He'll hand it off to Lewis. Lewis working against Sheffield. Down the lane right side. Got the bucket to go, and the foul high off the window. And Matt Lewis, his third field goal of the half, fourth for the ball game. And Marcus Sheffield called for his third personal 15 foul.
Taylor, you said it in our scouting report on the audio side. The duo of Lewis and Banks can certainly get JMU back into any game or keep them in any game. That's exactly what they're doing right now. After that 15-point lead at the half, it's hovered around 10, and Lewis has a chance to cut it to single digits once again.
Preseason All-CAA last year, and knocks down, or this year rather, it knocks down the free throw. 4 for 5 from the stripe. That's about near his career average in Harrisonburg. Coming into the season, 80.6. This year a little bit below that mark. Is Wright catching. Top of the key left side. He'll move it away to Seth Fuller. Dublin, Ohio, fourth-year junior in the lineup for the first time in the second half. To Woods. Woods pitching to Wright. Wright will catch off of the left block. Up top, Fuller to Woods. Woods driving down the lane left side. And Anthony Franklin with the whistle. They will get Michael Christmas for the personal. His first becomes the third team foul. 47-38 as you get a look at the replay, and Hunter Woods trying to go right by Christmas. Just put his hand on his backside, and that draws the infraction. This is McIntosh in between the circles. Flips downstairs. Simon Wright catch in and able to finish. First field goal of the afternoon for Wright. And moves the Phoenix back in front, 49-38. 13:23 left. This is Banks going down the lane. Couldn't get it to go. Jacobs fighting for the rebound. Fuller goes to the deck, and the alternating possession will go the way of the Phoenix as Seth Fuller that time reaching in to tie things up after Wright and McIntosh had both gone to the floor.
And two great plays on both ends by Simon Wright. The first time catching that ball and keeping it high, drawing the contact, or after the pump fake, really should have been an N1, and putting it in high off the glass. That time guarding the driver, I believe it was Darius Banks, perfectly, not leaving his feet until the shot went up. No foul there, and then obviously fighting for the loose ball.
And at the other end, Hunter McIntosh takes it down the lane, gets it to go in the N1 opportunity. As Zach Jacobs on the personal. Second on Jacobs. And Hunter Mack in double figures for the 12th time of the season. 4th time in the last 5 ball games. Hits to the stripe. An opportunity to knock home the back end of the three-point play. Chuck Hanna in. Simon Wright will have a seat. McIntosh, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, 10 points. Another stat-stuffing Saturday. Came in last 3 ball games, 7-5-5. Last 2 games, 6 helpers a ball game. And ready on the free throw, knocks it down. 3.5, 11 for the night. 52-38. Phoenix moved it back to a 14-point advantage. It's been as many as 16. It was 15 at the break. Lewis to Wilson. Block right side. Working in on Hanna. The jump hook, no good. But Nick Keeter with the whistle, and they'll get Chuck Hanna for the personal. And that'll send Dwight Wilson to the stripe. And head coach Mike Schrage with a conversation with Nick Heater, and Mr. Heater jerked his head around after hearing from the first-year head coach, and now they will stand right in front of the official scores table as Dwight Wilson no good on the opportunity. You want to know how good he was in high school? 1,500 points and 1,000 rebounds in just 3 seasons. A guy who averaged 17 and 14 his last 2 years is right back in the game. Hanna will have a seat.
So that was the 4th foul on Chuck. So just another member of this Elon front court, rotation rather, hindered with foul trouble. Wilson misses 2, but now Simon Wright, again, 3 fouls. He's going to have to play these minutes here in the second half.
And McIntosh will bring it front court. Moves it away to Fuller. Fuller with it off of the left wing. Up top to Woods. Now sends it to Wooten. Zone look shown by James Madison. McIntosh dumps it down to Wright. Now right back up to Hunter Mack in the corner right side. Fuller, he'll send it away to McIntosh. McIntosh to Woods. Great catch in the middle of the zone. Couldn't get it to go. Wright and Wilson battle for it, and they'll say last touch by Simon Wright. 52-38. Phoenix in front. 12:22 left to play in the second half. Lewis flips it away to Pinkard. Anthony Pinkard in the ball game for the first time in the second half. This is Banks, baseline right side. Couldn't get it to go. Right with the rebound. He'll send it away to McIntosh. Front court comes the Snellville native on the hop. McIntosh off of the double team, moves it away to Wooten. Wooten right back to McIntosh. Thought about going down in the corner to Fuller. Instead, he'll ask Simon Wright to get to the spot. Now they'll send it away to Fuller. Seth takes it baseline, left side of the bucket, good. 4 points on the afternoon for Mr. Fuller. And Elon matches their largest lead of the afternoon at 16, 54-38. This is Lewis up top to Pinkard. Pinkard sends it away to Banks. Banks with it off of the dribble on the left wing. Moves it back up top to Lewis. Now to Banks. Banks will fire for the three. No good. Loose ball rebound. They'll simply watch it bound over the near sideline, and it'll send us to the media timeout. Phoenix on one of those runs. A 7-0 run as Elon's knocked home 5 of their last 7. And the Phoenix have matched their head coaches Mike Shraggy and Charlotte Smith, along with player guests for the full hour, available on the audio platform. And with our friends at TuneIn, best of luck to Coach Smith and the Phoenix women. Falling last night in overtime to the Dragons. They'll see the Blue Hens of Delaware tomorrow afternoon to close out the opening week of this 2-week homestand. 7 games all told. Phoenix will wait for Hofstra and Northeastern as off of the timeout. Chris Wooten for the triple from the left corner, could not get it to go, and it's Lewis with the rebound. He'll hit the accelerator going down the lane, could not get it to go, but the foul whistled against Seth Fuller. That'll be the second on Fuller, and it'll send Matt Lewis to the strike.
Seth a bit frustrated there. Lewis going down the lane rather fast, and Fuller looked like his feet were just about to be set, not set yet. Looked like he was backpedaling a bit, but he was frustrated with the call as he went to the floor.
And Lewis knocks down the free throw. He'll have another one coming. Lewis now in the afternoon, 5 for 6. Mentioned it earlier, preseason All-CAA. He was third-team All-CAA last year. And he knocks down the free throw. Maybe the most impressive number, and there are several in this. 15 points this afternoon means he's been in double figures 37 of the last 40 ball games for head coach Lewis Rowe. Woods flips it away to Fuller. Phoenix trying to break the pressure. He'll get it to Wooten and do just that. It is a 1-2-2 look that now will move back into the zone. Fuller trying to break the zone. Cannot get it to fall from the top of the key. Woods, though, with the rebound. Wooten, Fuller, Sheffield, right back to Fuller. Fuller with it at the top. He'll send it to Sheffield. Left wing for the three. Maybe Marcus can unlock it off of the third triple of the afternoon, his 40th in an Elon uniform.
It's a great job by Seth Fuller staying disciplined on that offensive possession. Doesn't have to be too complicated. Just pass to where you got it from, and Sheffield was open up.
This is Wooden at the other end for the three, and good. Julian Wooden's got 6 on the afternoon. 57-43. Phoenix in front by 14. Fuller trying to work against backcourt pressure. Parker and Banks there on the double team, and boy, they're going to say that Banks slapped it away, so it'll remain in Elon's possession. You hear the dulcet tones of umpire Anthony Burris instructing the Phoenix they've got 6 seconds to get it across the timeline. Fuller working out of the double team. He'll move it to Sheffield, and Marcus makes it with room to spare. This is Irvin, left corner for the three, and good. Well, Zach Irvin all by his lonesome.
Yeah.
Guy that's hit 11 triples in his last 2 home games. I'm not quite sure I'd leave him in that spot. And Deshaun Parker releases the three, but no good. They'll get to White Wilson for the offensive foul at the other end. His third becomes team 4th.
Well, you love the confidence of the freshman Zach Irvin, only playing 7 minutes tonight, only a few in the second half, and coming right into the ball game, making himself open in that left corner and hitting the three right away.
Seth Fuller gets it on his own dribble across the timeline, moves it away to Wooten. Wooten off of the right corner, sends it up top to Wright. Wright, the handoff given to Sheffield. Sheffield takes it to the top of the key, now to Irvin. He'll try the other side from the right side, could not get it to go. And it's Wilson with the rebound. He'll move it away to Parker. Parker off of the left-hand dribble up top. This is Wooden going down the lane left side. Couldn't get it to go. And Nick Keeter with the whistle. Zach Irvin the contact. Third on Irvin becomes the 6th. Or the 8th rather on the Phoenix in the half. And so the 1-and-1, well, they'll say a two-shot opportunity. Julian Wooden was in the act. Into the strike. Wooden on the year, a 50% free throw shooter. And knocks down the first. Made his first ever start Thursday night against the Tribe. 18 minutes of work, 0 for 3 from the floor, and 2 rebounds to his credit. Banks out and Pinkard out. Javis Harvey in the ball game, first time in the second half. Matt Lewis back in the ball game as Wooden knocks them both down.
It's been kind of a fluid starting lineup for the Dukes. You mentioned Wooden getting his first start. That replaced Zach Jacobs. He was on a streak of starts there. Jacobs obviously having the better game tonight, and Wooden with his first attempts at the free throw line there.
Wooten moves it away to right. Right, the handoff given to Wooten. Wooten will fire for the three. Could not get it to go off the back of the iron. Wilson with the rebound. He'll send it away to Lewis. Lewis, front court, takes it almost to the baseline right side. Now wheels it back up top. This is Wooden. Wooden, the handoff given to Harvey going down the lane. Could not get it to go, but they'll get Chris Wooten for the contact. Second personal on Wooten. Will be the 9th on the Phoenix. And that'll put Javis Harvey at the stripe for two-shot opportunity. We mentioned it on the video side earlier. Harvey is one of 7 freshmen on the Dukes roster as he makes the first. That is the 5th largest class in Division I. If you take out the service academies, it is the 3rd largest class in Division I, and this is a ball club that's got 1 senior in Pinkard. But as we told you earlier, a core group of juniors in Lewis, Banks, and Wilson, as Harvey makes them both, and a group that was picked to finish 4th in the preseason confab back in October, and in fact received first place votes. But right now down 13 and in jeopardy of closing the opening half of the conference rotation at 1-8. As McIntosh loops it away to Hanna. Hanna, the handoff, give it to Sheffield. Sheffield, wing left side, top of the key. He'll pitch it away to Hanna. Chuck catching, gets the opportunity to square up, can't get it to go. And Wilson with the rebound. He'll move it away to Parker. Front court come the Dukes. Parker simply lost it in the lane, and Wooten out of there with it. Parker, Hanna, and Sheffield all hit the deck. They're a little bit slow to get back for their respective parties. McIntosh moves it away to Hanna. Hanna to Sheffield, wing left side. Marcus off the right-hand dribble. In the corner, right side. McIntosh for the 3. No good. Hanna with the tap. Wilson, though, on the recovery. 8 minutes even up left to play. Phoenix in front 60-47. Lewis drives it almost to the baseline right side. Now pitches it up top. This is Wooden. Wooden will send it away to Harvey. Now in the corner to Parker. Now back up top. It'll go to Wooden. Now to Lewis. Lewis thought about the step back. Instead to Wooden. Now to Parker. Parker trying to turn on Sheffield. Can't. He'll move it away to Harvey. Harvey up top. This is Parker for the 3. Off the iron left side. No good. And Wooten with the rebound.
First open look JMU's gotten in a while and just unable to hit. Another drought for the Dukes. No made field goals the last 2 minutes and 50-plus seconds.
Elon's working on an 0 for 4 stretch from the floor. This is Woods. Woods downstairs. Hanna catching, and Parker over the top will send us to the media timeout. Elon in front by 13. Phoenix trying to make it 2 straight successful Saturdays inside Shar, and on their way to doing so. Online at WilsonHomesNC.com. In the second half, Elon 8 of 19, JMU 6 of 15. For the ball game, Duke still below 30%. 13 for 44 and still just 4 of 18 from behind the arc.
And Elon's done a great job of just taking advantage of these cold streaks that JMU continues to find themselves on. Now 3+ minutes without a made field goal for the Dukes. A score here to break their own little drought of 2+ minutes for Elon would sure be nice in extending this lead and keeping this game out of reach for JMU.
Baseline throw-in becomes a sideline throw-in after Sheffield had it slapped away. This is Woods at the top of the key, and going down the lane, Anthony Burris with a whistle. Let's wait and see. And they'll get Julian Wooden. Not quite sure what the humor was between Mr. Heater and Mr. Burris, but they share a slight chuckle in between the circles. Third personal on Wooden becomes the 7th team foul, and so hope you don't have anywhere to be on the first Saturday afternoon without football of any kind since August, as Hunter Woods knocks home the free throw.
Double-double for him, 11 points, 11 rebounds now, averaging about 10 and 8 in conference play. Obviously had that 15.9 rebound adding 48 hours ago. So another great game put together by Woods, both scoring and rebounding the basketball.
5 for 6 on the afternoon from the free throw line. Second double-double in league play, matching the double-double against William and Mary. Speaking of William and Mary, the opening rotation in conference play does not mean the Phoenix just rinse and repeat on the schedule as Matt Lewis knocks down the triple. His second of the afternoon. Phoenix will actually not see the Tribe on the back end until senior day in Kaplan Arena. They'll open up the second go-round, Hofstra and Northeastern in this building. Starting Thursday night, this is Sheffield in the lane. Marcus got the bucket to go, and the foul, Darius Banks with the contact. For Banks, it'll be his second. And Marcus Sheffield, his 9th field goal of the afternoon. Sheffield now with 23, the chance to make it 24 on the afternoon.
Taylor, these driving opportunities for Marcus is something that hasn't been or hasn't come often for him since that road trip to the Philadelphia Metro converts on the N1 opportunity. A lot of these games he's been reduced to basically a spot-up guy on the perimeter, but tonight really taking advantage of the defense off the dribble.
This is Harvey down the lane right side and got it to go. Chavis Harvey, his first field goal of the afternoon, 65-52. Elon in front by 13, 6:06 left to play as Hunter McIntosh takes it down the lane, and they're going to say knocked away going over the end line. It'll be James Madison basketball. The White Wilson back in the game, and Jacobs will have a seat. It is Wooden, Lewis, Wilson, Banks, and Harvey for the St. Petersburg, Florida native Lou Rowe. This is Harvey. He'll send it away to Lewis. Downstairs to Wilson. Here comes the double team. Up top, Harvey for the three off the right wing. Couldn't get it to go in the rebound. Pulled away by Sheffield. Marcus simply brings it across the timeline. Right-handed dribble. In between the circles, looking to go to Hannah. Instead, he'll flip it on the right wing to McIntosh. Now up top to Hannah. Boy, handoff given to Woods. Woods goes right back to Hannah. Catch, and Chuck cannot finish the first time. Thought he was going to finish the second time. And the tap follow just simply hung on the back of the iron. Rebound pulled away by Wooden. He'll send it to Lewis. Lewis off of the right-handed dribble. Looking. Pitches away to Harvey. Harvey catching on the right side. He'll move it away to Banks. Banks off of the left-hand dribble, takes it down the lane, blocked away by Wooten, recovered by Darius Banks, and he'll stick it home. Banks with his third field goal. He's got 9 on the afternoon. 65-54, 5 minutes even left to play in the ball game. McIntosh off of the defensive pressure from Lewis. Hunter Mack will break it, drives it all the way to the baseline, and Anthony Burris says he stepped on the end line. Trying to kick it in the right-hand corner to Chris Wooten. The turnover, which will wind up being the 8th of the afternoon for the Phoenix. Elon 2 for 1 in terms of assist to turnovers. 16 assists on 22 made buckets. Hunter McIntosh has matched his personal best with 8 on the afternoon.
Under 5 minutes left, Taylor, an 11-point lead. JMU has to try to put together that one final push to try to get this game close. If you're Elon, you just got to survive the next, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes without letting them go on any sort of run. You should be all right in terms of the final score.
Banks flips it away. This is Wooden, corner right side. Up top, Lewis for the three, and good. Matt Lewis, his third triple of the ball game. They've all come in the second half. 65-57, 4:25, and all of a sudden, some of the faithful in purple and gold behind the Duke bench starting to rustle as Sheffield and Banks get tied up. And they'll rule Darius Banks with the personal, his third. Becomes the 9th team foul. And so the 1-and-1 opportunity for Sheff. Mentioned earlier, I mean, obviously the 24-point outing this afternoon, but the consistency of which he has played has really been impressive. 11th straight ball game in double digits, 7th time he's been over the 20-point mark. And he knocks down the free throw. Last 5 games, 14-4. Came into the afternoon, 7th best scorer in the conference at 16.2. And he makes them both. 5 for 5 on the afternoon. That'll bump up the 8th best free throw percentage in the league. 67-57. Phoenix trade a Lewis 3 for 3 free throws from Sheffield. Wilson catching baseline right side, turning in on the block, and the carry called on Dwight Wilson. 12th turnover of the afternoon on James Madison, and they'll go to the other end.
Not a call you see often, especially from a post player, but a great job by Elon, particularly Chuck Hanna. Draws the assignment on Wilson and making him feel uncomfortable in that post position when he puts the ball down.
Hunter Mack brings it across the timeline, simply points over to the Elon bench. The offensive call from head coach Mike Trocchi. This is Sheffield, moves it away to Hanna. Hanna sends it to Woods. Woods will fire for the 3. Halfway down, popped out. Chuck with the rebound, and the putback could not get it to go. But to the line will go Hanna. Off of Javis Harvey with the personal. It'll send us to the media timeout. 3:47 left to play in the ball game. The Boston native to the stripe when we roll on. This is Elon Basketball from Elon Sports Vision. On the video side, to the stripe goes Chuck Hanna. Quick reminder, your trusted heating and air conditioning service provider in Alamance County, backed by more than 13 years of industry experience. Fluid Heating and Air, 1725 East Webb Avenue in Burlington. On the web, cooling and heating nc.com, 516-8872. Chuck with 5 points on the afternoon to go along with 5 rebounds. And it'll stay at the 5-point marker. Now 1 for 2 on the afternoon from the stripe. 45.5% on the year when the afternoon got started. And he'll miss the second off of the back of the iron. Matt Lewis with the rebound. Pitches away to Harvey. Harvey brings it front court to Lewis. Now right back to Harvey. Harvey takes it into the corner almost right side. Now sends it up top to Lewis. Lewis working against McIntosh and Hanna and puts his head down, and let's wait and see. I believe they're going to get McIntosh for the contact, and indeed they are. Hunter Mack whistled for his second, 10th team foul. And at the stripe will go Matt Lewis.
He's getting a little chippy here with Chuck Hanna with the offensive rebound. A lot of contact with the 2 free throws coming. And then Lewis after the driver, after he gets fouled, some excessive or some extra contact from an Elon defender. Lewis misses the first of 2.
You heard Anthony Burris say that's a whistle, that's a whistle.
Yeah.
As the play went down to the baseline. Zach Jacobs, by the way, to the scorer's table as Lewis knocks down the second one. 7 out of 9 on the afternoon. Wilson will have a seat. James Madison with Jacobs, Lewis, Banks, Wooden, and Parker work against the Phoenix with Woods, McIntosh, Sheffield, Wooten, and Hanna. Hunter Mack trying to get it across the timeline. 25 on the shot clock. Wooten to McIntosh, 22, 21, and Hunter Mack will finally get it across with a second to spare. Moves it away to Sheffield, now to Hanna. Chuck with it at the top of the key, and Jacobs will simply go to foul Hanna. This is the foul strategy that Lewis Rowe and James Madison will employ. And we told you earlier, Chuck at 45.5 as Dwight Wilson to the scorer's table. Wilson, or Hanna rather, can turn all this to moot by knocking down a couple of free throws.
Right, and that's the key. As long as Chuck's in the game with 3:14 left, you're down 9 at the moment. You're going to foul the worst free throw shooter on the floor. Statistically, it is Chuck, but he makes him pay right there, extending this lead to double digits.
Yep. 2 for 4 now on the afternoon from the stripe. Phoenix on the year, 68.5%. on the afternoon, 17 for 20. 43 combined free throws between these two squads. James Madison 18 for 23. 43 personals, and Hannah knocks down the free throw. Back-to-back free throws. And Elon in front by 11, 69-58. This is Lewis in between the circles. He'll move it away to Parker. Parker thought about it, instead down low to Wilson. Wilson working on Hannah. The jumper up and good. Dwight Wilson, his third field goal, 69-60. Backcourt pressure shown. McIntosh waves everybody off. Now here comes the double team. Hunter Mack trying to dribble out of it. He'll move it away to Sheffield. Sheffield catching in between the circles. Now the handoff given to Wooten. McIntosh with it in between the circles. Sends it away to Hannah. Hannah to Wooten. Wooten with it off of the right wing. Moves it away to Sheffield. Sheffield in the lane, right side. Up top to Wooten, now to Woods. Shot clock at 1. Hunter will fire for the 3 and good. Hunter Woods, his second triple of the afternoon. And the 8th 3 of the afternoon for the Phoenix is at the other end. Matt Lewis on the baseline. There's a way to punctuate a double-double for the day. As Chuck Hannah whistled for the personal, Lewis will head to the stripe.
Woods has taken a relatively open looks tonight from 3. That not one of them. Off the dribble, right in the face of the defender. About 25, 26 feet. Nice shot from the freshman. 15 points now for him.
Chuck Hannah has been listed for the personal.
So he should be gone, right?
They'll actually change it to Hunter McIntosh. Hunter Mack now whistled for his 3rd. And Lewis making the first of 2. 7 of 10 from the stripe on the afternoon, making 8 for 11. And another 2 points is Marcus Sheffield. Will try to break the pressure. Here comes the James Madison double team. Sheffield works it away to McIntosh. McIntosh across the timeline. Sends it to Woods. Woods with it on the left wing. Clock moving to 2 minutes. And head coach Mike Schrage just simply tells them patience. This is McIntosh. Shot clock goes to 10. Hunter Mack flips it to Chuck Hannah. Nice play going down the lane. And Hannah to finish.
It's a beautiful play. Chuck Hannah, a nice pick at the top of the key. Draws the second defender to McIntosh on the hedge. And McIntosh, another great find tonight. 10th assist for him.
This is Wooden taking it down the lane. Could not get it to go. Let's wait and see, though. The contact will be on Hunter Woods. His second personal. And Julian Wooden to the stripe. Chuck's been in the neighborhood on picking up the 5th on a couple of different opportunities here in the last minute or so, but McIntosh takes the first and then Woods takes the second. And Wooden makes the free throw. 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Freshman from out of Roanoke, Virginia. Both he and Michael Christmas won state championships last year in their respective classifications, as Wooden makes them both. And James Madison is asked for the timeout. We will keep it right here with 1:35 left to play in the ball game. Quick reminder that we on replay, Chase Williams as well on the camera side. Glad to be with all of them on a Saturday afternoon. As Elon leads by 11, 74-63. And Hunter Woods the trigger off of the 30-second JMU timeout. He'll get it into Sheffield. Marcus off of the dribble, takes it across the timeline, and Deshaun Parker will simply draw the contact. Parker whistled for his second. And Marcus Sheffield to the stripe for 2.
What a night for Sheffield and McIntosh and Woods, respectively. Sheffield looking for his 27th and 28th points. Right here, misses the first. 26 points at the moment, 7 rebounds. How about Hunter McIntosh? A double-double for him, 11 points, 10 assists. And then, of course, Hunter Woods is second of the year, 15 points and 11 rebounds.
This will match a season high. He had 27 at Winthrop in Sheffield, and he'll knock home the back end to do just that. Mentioned earlier, first time he's been over 20 in the last 8 ball games. As Banks will bring it front court, flips it away to Lewis. Lewis down the lane, the pitch in the corner, and the offensive foul. Chuck Hanna drawing it on Matt Lewis. That'll be his 4th.
How about the aggressiveness of Chuck Hanna trying to draw these offensive fouls, contesting these shots. He's had 4 fouls basically since the 11-minute mark remaining in this half, and he's right in every play down there.
3rd offensive charge of the afternoon that's been drawn by Hanna. 1:12 on the game clock as Sheffield will get it across the timeline off of the left-hand dribble. He'll push away to McIntosh. Hunter Mack goes right back to Sheffield on the left wing, wanting to go to Hanna and Will. Chuck with the catch. Here comes the double team, moves it back to McIntosh. McIntosh looking for some help. He'll get it away to Sheffield. Sheffield for the jumper off the iron. No good, and it's Parker with the rebound. Game clock at 46, shot clock at 27. This is Banks. Banks takes it down the baseline left side, up top to Matt Lewis. And the 3 is good. Lewis, who has knocked home 4 triples all in the second half. And James Madison will take another 30-second timeout. This will be there. Well, it appears the Phoenix will snap the 3-game slide. Win for the second time in the last 11. And also win for the second straight Saturday in this building. As Hunter Woods will trigger, facing full court man-to-man pressure. Woods looking, gets it into McIntosh. And Parker simply reaching behind will draw the personal. 4th on Deshaun Parker, second straight ball game he's been saddled with 4. And they'll walk to the other end. Hunter McIntosh will do the honors. Mack with 11 and 10, as Brian mentioned earlier, just 1 turnover in 36 minutes. Some kind of afternoon after the well-documented struggles about 36 hours ago against the Towson Tigers. Hunter misses the free throw. Mack, that's on me. 3 for 4 on the afternoon. Head coach Mike Schrage from the Domino's Locker Room Report, courtesy of Modern Toyota. At the conclusion of this ball game, Brian will take you through a busy day in the CAA. Delaware. Blue Hens accomplished the feat. Sweep the northernmost outpost tour by a grand total of 3 points. 76-74 this afternoon against Northeastern. Kevin Anderson's walk-off job Thursday at Hofstra is Matt Lewis with the 3. 76-69. 31 seconds left, and Hunter Woods on the inbounds will simply ask for the timeout. And the Phoenix will gather around head coach Mike Schrage. And so 76-69 as they break the timeout. He would go on later, play for 4 ball clubs in Europe. And we mentioned earlier, former Bowling Green assistant as Woods gets it into Sheffield, knocked away by Banks. It's about a second difference between shot clock and game clock. So 94 feet away, and Hunter Woods will trigger. Stand still on the inbounds, looking, gets it into Wooten, and Chris Wooten will be fouled. He'll walk to the other end. Pretty good guy to foul. 9 for 12 from the stripe in his 2 years. Let me repeat that again. 9 for 12 in his 2 seasons. And the Kinston native to the line. James Madison, by the way, draws Charleston and UNCW next week from the Convo. And Wooten knocks it home. There you go, Chris. 3rd point of the afternoon. Arendelle Parent Academy, his final 3 years of high school after helping to lead Kinston to a state title in his freshman year. 77-69, 28.4 left. And good. Phoenix in front by 9. Banks gets it into Parker. Parker across the timeline. He'll flip to Lewis. Lewis looking for Banks, simply missed on the handoff, and wait a second, are they going to get Hunter Woods on the reach in on Lewis? And indeed they are. Woods whistled for his third, and to the stripe will go Matt Lewis.
Yeah, Woods anticipating a dribble handoff, which is what Matt Lewis attempted to fool the defense by. Ended up keeping the ball in his hand, was just right there when Lewis decided to take that next dribble.
And Matt Lewis for the opportunity, good. That personal, by the way, the 50th foul called between these two ball clubs, which has led to 55 free throws, soon to be 56. And Nick Heater letting everybody know one free throw remains. 78-70. And Lewis misses the second. Sheffield with the rebound, and James Madison will stick a hand in and draw the personal. Let's wait and see. Javis Harvey, I believe, and indeed that is the case. Harvey whistled for his third. They'll walk to the other end of the floor, and Harvey checks out. Quinn Ritchie will check in. And to White Wilson in as well, as Jacobs will have a seat. 20.2 left. Sheffield. And there you go. Brand new personal best for Marcus. He's got 28 on the afternoon. Mentioned earlier, 27 against Winthrop was the standard. 8 rebounds. And Sheffield knocks down the second. 29 on the afternoon. 80-70. Parker moves it away to Lewis. Lewis, the handoff to Banks. Now he'll send it back to Parker with 12 on the game clock. Parker fires the three. No good. Sheffield with the rebound. And Quinn Ritchie will simply reach in and draw the foul. So they'll walk to the other end. Marcus will get a couple of cracks to put a bow on what would be a 30-point outing, as this crowd stands to applaud the Phoenix on an afternoon where Elon turns it over only 8 times. James Madison had been forcing just over 12 a conference contest. And Sheffield with the free throw. Just like that, the Phoenix will now clear everybody off of the line. Seth Fuller to the scorer's table, telling Nick Heater he's coming for the shooter. And the opportunity is good. 31 on the afternoon. And Marcus will take a well-deserved break and will lead to a rousing round of applause from this crowd gathered at Shar. As the Phoenix up 12, Matt Lewis for the three and good. 1.6 left. Lewis has got 33 on the afternoon. The inbounds, Hunter McIntyre